Hey Cody,
What's up?
what movie are we gonna see?
I don't know.
Tell us.
Maybe we should take this video in line.
What are we seeing, Dad?
I don't know. I'm going with you.
He said, I don't
The
know.
Dark Knight. What?
Rises.
What's the last word?
Rises.
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 When the fire rises.
But when we get in line, I can entertain people.
All right.
Just have the light on.
Okay. So my dad, this is Cody, and we're gonna be waiting in line for The Dark Knight Rises. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we're at the midnight premiere, The Dark Knight Rises. How was it, Cody? The line and, I mean, all the people, Dad?
There was no line.
No line by busy.
Did you enjoy the clapping? You two didn't clap. What the hell's wrong with you guys?
Yeah, we did.
I don't clap.
I clapped. I said,
I don't clap at movie.
I clapped like this.
Well, you have no heart.
I clapped like this.
Yeah?
Ryan appreciates good production.
Yeah.
That's
He'll give
Christopher
it
Nolan. I named him after my cat. I named my cat after him. Because he's the best director of all time.
Anyway.
So, what'd you think of it? Way better than you thought it was going to
Yeah, definitely.
be? You ever want to re-see it again?
That was a long-ass movie.
Would
To
you,
be honest with you.
Would you ever want to see it in IMAX?
IMAX.
Biggest
I've never been to
screen?
IMAX, so I wouldn't know.
It's huge.
Is it
Yeah. It's incredible. You would love it.
better definition quality?
Yeah, super high def. Like, seriously. Alright, so came back. This is me, Ryan. Definitely the best of the trilogy and my favorite movie from Christopher Nolan. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Alright, bye. Batman!
What's importing?
Okay, it is started. And we are here with Christopher Nolan, my cat.
Force.
Guess you guys know who my cat is. I don't
You're
know.
not the director.
He's not the director.
He's
I
not
named
the-
him after Christopher Nolan.
Hi guys.
I got this cat like 2 years ago. So my cat is 2 years old. And I named him after my favorite director, which is Christopher Nolan. And Nolan is a great cat, so put him over there. He's probably got to get off the bed. I got this from the movie theater. Dark Knight Rises, only in theaters. Mountain Dew. Where is it?
My eyes be super low.
Dark Knight Rises shirt. So, alright, we're going to be doing a review of The Dark Knight Rises.
Yes.
So, okay, so we go in. I've been waiting for this movie for 4 years. At the end of The Dark Knight, I was like, I want to see what happens next. There was a huge Joker hype, so I assumed they were going to recast him. I don't know what they were going to do with the Joker, because the Joker lived at the end of the movie. Now, I wanted the Riddler to be in it, or the Penguin, and there was all these rumors going on for a couple years. And Christopher Nolan was making Inception, and then once he got Inception out, he was ready to go on and do The Dark Knight Rises. The thing about that was, immediately, when he announced the movie, he said, there's going to be no Riddler, and it's not going to be in 3D. So, Christopher Nolan does not like 3D, and I guess he did not want the Riddler in it, because I guess it's similar to Heath Ledger's performance. So, I was kind of like, who are they going to pick? Who's going to be the villain, you know? They picked Tom Hardy, but I'm like, who is he going to play? Is he going to be the Penguin? Like, that was my main, like, suggestion. Like, that could work for Christopher Nolan's world, if he did it right. But when I heard it's like, okay, this is his last movie, I'm like, okay, then they need to have someone that would be really good for a finale. Which, personally, could have been the Riddler. That would have been awesome, you know, I mean, because it would be great to see Christopher Nolan bring a good Riddler to life on screen, so so sadly we'll never be able to see that for quite a while. Now, when I heard about that Bane was the main villain, I was kind of like, what? I was surprised because there's not too... There wasn't too much of Bane.
Throughout the movie?
No, I'm sorry. There wasn't I mean, they never made. I mean, they made Batman and Robin. They had Bane in it. I didn't like the way they did that. I mean, Nightfall was a good comic, and
Nightwing.
it's called Nightfall. It's a comic, and Christopher Nolan based a lot of the Dark Knight Rises off that comic. But Bane was introduced in 1990, so I'm surprised that Christopher Nolan picked a villain that only was introduced only 20 years ago. And I'm surprised that he even went with a villain like this. But I understand why, because Bane knows who Batman is, and he's a huge challenge. Excuse me. I don't know why I'm yawning. To Batman. Batman Begins. He faced Ra's al Ghul, which it was a challenge for him because Bruce Wayne. That's when he just began being Batman, and then the Scarecrow was in it for like a little bit. And then the Dark Knight, he's Batman, whatever, and he has to face the Joker, and Joker's messing with him psychologically, and I really love that idea. Now, when I heard, when they began when they began shooting the film and recording, whatever you say it, I heard they were filming it from May to December, and I'm like, what? That long? I mean, so when I heard about that, I'm like, okay, there's gonna be a lot in this movie. They're gonna shove a lot, which they did, but the movie didn't even feel that long. Like, how long did it feel for you when you saw the movie?
Oh my god, I fell asleep like 3 times.
He was falling asleep. I don't know why, because there was like action.
During the
sequences.
action, like I was falling asleep, I was like, oh wait, whoa, and then I have to like try to open my eyes, like fuck, I'm missing the movie.
Why would you fall? All right. Anyway,
I was bored. There's boring parts. To be honest, there's just boring parts.
Okay, so The Dark Knight Rises is boring.
No, not at all. But from the beginning of the movie, this is my review.
this plane.
They're crashing the plane, I guess. All right. So from the beginning of the movie, everybody's talking about how Harvey Dent was such a great man, and people are talking about how Batman was the murderer of Harvey Dent, and they wanted him in custody, and Bruce Wayne's just kicking it, like not trying to be Batman because Batman's gonna be in trouble. And there's actually a scene in the movie where the bank gets robbed, no, the stock market gets robbed, and as they're trying to get away, they see Batman trying to help.
Yeah.
The cops let the robbers go and chase Batman. The fuck?
How did they even know if it was Batman?
They seen it was his cape.
Yeah,
and
but you have to remember
his
the
motorcycle that switched wheels. Like,
yeah.
he had this badass motorcycle that flipped wheels and changed direction.
And then that one guy was like, "Sorry." I'm like,
but it was the police
what?
chief. It was the police chief, or not the police chief, not Commissioner Gordon. It was like the guy below him who was in charge, and he told that he wanted to get Batman and be a hero. Or some shit like that. He wouldn't let Batman do his thing. But anyway, from the beginning of the movie, it's really depressing. It's really dark. It's really sad. Like no one knows where Batman is. There's not a lot of crime going on. Harvey Dent is dead.
How many years?
They're trying to rebuild the city.
How many years is after The Dark Knight? I'm gonna give you a trivia.
I think 10 years or something.
No.
How long? I'm done guessing.
8.
Okay, 8 years. That was close. And they had Selena Kyle, which is Catwoman, basically. She made the whole movie. Like, she took like Bane. His voice sounded super sarcastic. Like there was every time
the games begin.
Like,
this is your liberation.
like he's like, this is your liberation. Like he talked so sarcastically, and it was like, you sound like a fucking idiot.
I know.
And you can't even take him seriously. But the good thing is, with villains, they just act like, oh, they're evil, and they're just, and they just kill everybody. No, they gave each individual person a personality that you could kind of gauge from what you've seen, and you could tell what that person was like through their character. Now, this bitch Catwoman, Selena Kyle, Anne Hathaway, whatever the fuck you want to call her, is robbing shit the whole movie. She's just a thief.
Yeah.
And The scene where Batman gets his ass kicked, you've seen in the trailer where he was holding the mask and he dropped it down the water drain or whatever.
She turned against him because she was afraid for Bane.
The fight scene, the first fight scene with Bane and Batman was so fucking dumb because you knew Batman was fucked. Like,
but that was the point.
It was just like they should have just let him get his ass kicked without fighting back as much, because it just made it more longer and boring because you already knew it was gonna happen. So it's like you're just sitting there watching it like, fuck.
Well,
All
the
right.
funny thing is,
how long was that fight scene?
It was like 5 minutes, I think. I mean, it basically
5-minute fight scene. Fights are usually like, come
well,
on,
there's movies that
30
have
seconds.
fight scenes that are longer. But what I loved about that sequence is basically to prove that Batman has never faced such a challenge, and basically to show that Bane, this guy, can fight. And so when you see Batman getting torn up, it's like, okay, this is 8 years, he's worn out. And so what happens is he breaks his back, which I was like, yes, from the comic, because it was from the comics. But what they do is he kidnaps him, abducts him, and he gets taken to, I guess, where Ra's al Ghul trained him, and Bane leaves him there. He's like, when Gotham is ashes, you have my permission to die. He has a TV right there to show, hey,
The city's in pandemonium.
You'll see Gotham explode. And so there's like this whole challenge that goes on for like an hour of Bruce Wayne trying to climb up this tunnel, and I'm like, well, why don't they just like raise him up there? Like, why not
climb up? It's like a vertical tunnel. It goes straight. It looks like a big ass well, and he had to train and he had to climb up it to
and
try
then
to
when
save
he like
Gotham.
gave up and he's like, I'm not gonna do this without the rope, you knew he was gonna make it. I mean, there was no tension there. But then he got up, he survived, and before that, there's going on with, Selena Kyle. She's trying to get away. I guess she's trying to get out of Gotham, which I would be like that too. I'd be like, I'm getting out of here. But they arrest her, and
They trapped all the cops too underground. Every cop in the city was trapped underground.
yeah,
They tricked him into thinking that Bane's lair was underground, and then when they all moved in, they took every cop in the city, legit every cop in the city, and surrounding cities, and told them to just go under there, just take care of it, like SWAT teams, everything, like the whole entire police department, like no cops are on the street. Like,
Now-
if they were in the middle of a call, they probably left in the middle of their call to go in this underground tunnel with all the other cops. But Bane blew up some shit, and then they all got trapped underground. And then so there's no cops at all, and he drops the football stadium, as you've seen in the he didn't drop the whole football stadium.
Yeah.
He dropped the football field, and then he had his soldier guys rush in, and you really thought how fucked they'd be if they just started shooting everybody in the crowd, because there was people running in the stadium, and there was
I
like
didn't get
6 or
that.
7, 8 guys on each side, and they all closed in, and they were just holding guns like, everyone chill out.
all right. I'm gonna talk about my pros and cons of this movie. Just get off my chest. So spoilers. Here we go. The cons. I'm just gonna begin anyway. Tom Hardy is Bane. Period. He's terribly miscast as Bane. Bane's supposed to be really tall. He's supposed to be Mexican. He's supposed to have a full mask. He's supposed to sound like normal. And he's supposed to be more buff than that. And I understand. No one could have easily done that in his world. Of course, he didn't have to use the whole Venom thing. But Tom Hardy didn't work for me. He seemed like smaller than Christian Bale. And he wasn't believable. And then the voice, I can tell they really forced, changing his voice in the editing, like trying to make it like more clear.
It
And
was understandable, though. You could hear what
it was
saying.
understandable, but it felt weird, and
It didn't bother me at all.
it just irritated me. I mean, I just didn't like the. I mean, Tom Hardy's a good actor. It's just he wasn't the right actor for that role, in my opinion. Anyway, another con was
The death of, what's her name?
no, hold on.
Terrible acting.
The fact that the movie felt rushed. The story did not feel complete. It did not feel like a complete story. The Dark Knight felt like a complete story. The Batman Begins felt like a complete story. Because in Batman Begins, you know, his parents get killed. He runs away from. Hold on. He runs away from Alfred. He, you know, gets trained by Ra's al Ghul. He comes back. He becomes Batman. He faces a challenge by Ra's al Ghul, but at the end, he figures it out. He becomes Batman. So that to me felt like a really great complete story. The Dark Knight. It's in the middle of this whole situation. He's still Batman, but Harvey Dent, the district attorney, he wants to get rid of the mob, and he does that. I mean, he's doing really great with everything. But then the Joker comes in and creates chaos, and he really just shows how messed up the world is, and you know, and it's really hard to top Heath Ledger's performance, and just the way Christopher Nolan did The Dark Knight. It's so hard to top it. I mean, the movie had a beginning and a middle and an end, and to me, that movie had less of what The Dark Knight Rises had, which, in my opinion, less is more. So, my opinion, The Dark Knight is still my favorite superhero movie, and it's better than Dark Knight Rises. Even though The Dark Knight Rises is very close, Dark Knight has Heath Ledger, and you know, and it just feels more like a complete.
The villain's better than Bane.
And it just more has a complete story to it. It's more involved, and it felt longer. With this movie, it felt like an hour and like too fast.
It did kind of drag on for me. I fell asleep 3 times.
Another complaint was I liked that Crane was in it, Scarecrow, but you never get to see his mask. Another thing is, I didn't really like the scenes when people would like go in there and like I don't even know what was going on, but like it was like a whole like kind of like courtroom, and then like he would like test people like on this ice thing.
Oh, I'd say death or exile, and it's like wouldn't you give them more choices than that?
I didn't understand it. And then the other thing was like Batman's like lit the firecracker or whatever that was, and then you know like to add like some tension, like oh you know Batman's back. I'm like okay we know Batman's back. Another thing is Talia al Ghul, the Miranda Tate, you know the actress. You know of course she denied every interview that she was Talia al Ghul. She's like no I'm not Talia al Ghul, and at the end you figure it out. They just pushed so many characters into one movie. And it was like Spider-Man 3, but like better in a way. But like she was revealed at the very end of the movie. She stabs him, and I'm like, how does a knife go through his armor like that?
Yeah.
I didn't quite get that because I mean,
right there, you think Batman's gonna die right when he gets stabbed, because there was rumors that he dies in this movie. I'm not gonna go any further than that.
Another complaint I had was I wanted Batman to rip off Bane's mask. I wanted to see what it looked like. But we didn't get to see it.
No.
And another thing that I really complained
Bane
about.
died too quickly.
Yeah, that too. And then you didn't get to see too much of Alfred. He was only like in the beginning of the movie. He's like, "I won't bury you," and then he's like, "Goodbye, Alfred." And I'm like, "All right, that's the end, Alfred. Goodbye." And then I'm like, "All right."
Well, he's at the end of the movie too.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Alfred. Another complaint. Let's see. It just, I don't know what it is. It just didn't feel like a full, complete movie. Like, I mean, it should have been a bigger kind of story in some sort of way. Like, I like the action, and Anne Hathaway owned the movie, and
Yes, she did.
I love those things. But, I mean, there is negativity in the movie. I mean, there are flaws in this film. It's not perfect at all.
Well, you're going to see it tomorrow, so.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it in IMAX, and I'm going to be seeing it in IMAX.
It's the same movie. It's not like nothing's gonna change, but the picture. So
Yeah.
you're satisfied with the movie, but there's just things about it that you don't like.
Yeah, well, the quality of the movie was great. I mean, I'm glad that, you know,
There's a lot of twists towards the end.
Christopher Nolan did
A lot
not.
of twists.
Yeah, I'm glad that
Like
Christopher
3
Nolan.
or 4 different ones.
I'm glad that Christopher Nolan did not like make it in 3D. I'm glad that he made it, you know, really great 2D and IMAX, so you can see it more better. It's more clear.
If you haven't seen the new resolution for the movie theater screens, go check that shit out, because they used to suck.
Now, the pros of the movie, I have to say, was Joseph Gordon-Levitt, the guy that played John Blake. I mean, he was like
Spoiler alert.
a perfect cop. No, I'll reveal it later. But he's the perfect cop of Gotham. Like, I mean, he did what Harvey Dent and Gordon could never do. Another thing is Anne Hathaway, of course. She owned the movie. She was awesome.
Yeah.
Completely badass. Another thing, this is Christian Bale's best performance not just in the Batman trilogy, but any movie he's ever done. He blew my mind really. Another thing was, excuse me. Another great thing about the movie was the way it's shot. The cinematography's great. I like the colors of the film. That kind of stuff. I really like. The music's great, and then the ending, I was at the edge of my seat because, you know, the bat, I call it the Batwing, but I wish they would go more into detail with that machine. It just was like just there, and then he used it like immediately, and I'm like, you know, that should have been used like at the end instead of like in the very beginning. But that thing was awesome. It definitely took him places, and
Does Christian Bale have a Twitter?
I don't know. You can check it out. But when he flies the bomb away, and then you don't know what happened to Batman. It just exploded, and then the music was like really dramatic. It showed up on Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and it's like, did he die? And then there's, you know, that little grave, and, you know, it was all that depressingness, and I was like, oh man. But then Alfred goes to dinner, wherever he is.
We have to tell him what happened at the beginning of the movie first.
What, the plane?
With that scene.
The plane sequence?
The scene that related to Alfred and Batman in the end. In the beginning. He said, I wish I could.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad that he told, you know, Bruce finally about Rachel and the letter. I'm glad that he finally, you know, admitted that. But that was too quick of the movie. But then when, you know, I figured he died. I mean, the music was really intense and emotional. And I'm like, you know, well, he risked everything for Gotham. I mean, just like Harvey Dent's line, you know, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And I really like that line because that's kind of what Batman did. Bruce Wayne. Fuck! Enough of the yawning. Anyway. When he saw, you know, Selina Kyle and Bruce Wayne, there was one moment of me like, you know, oh, he's alive. But the other moment, I thought maybe Alfred was hallucinating to kind of imagine, you know, maybe Bruce is peaceful even though he died. Because in the beginning of the movie, you see Alfred basically in like a, you know, similar location eating, and he sees, you know, a family that he wishes, you know, it was Bruce. And then when he sees Bruce Wayne and the, you know, and you know, Anne Hathaway, it looks like really similar to what, you know, he saw in, you know, way back then. So I was kind of like, is he imagining it? Or another thing is, Robin was introduced at the very end. He was like Robin, John Blake. And then I guess he was, you know, there to become Robin and take over Gotham. And what really irritated me was they didn't show him in the suit. Either in a Robin suit or in a Nightwing suit. They didn't show him like, you know, okay, you know, hey, I'm taking over. Excuse me. But the movie ended like didn't it end like kind of in a cliffhanger? I saw it and I'm like, that's it? I mean, we all clapped and I was like, you know, hey, it's the end. But at the same time, I'm like, well, Bruce Wayne's still alive. John Blake, you know, Robin, you know, he could take over, you know, Batman's place and there could be more villains. But they just ended there. And it's like, how is this a conclusion? Like, to me, in my opinion, The Dark Knight felt like a complete ending. Then Dark Knight Rises. But anyway, beside from that, definitely enjoyed it. I love the movie. I mean, most of it, and it's a great roller coaster ride experience. Christopher Nolan definitely brings a lot of emotion to the film, a lot of action. It's definitely the best action of the trilogy, in my opinion. It's shot really well. The music is awesome. I wish Hans Zimmer did more with the score, because he did so much with Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. I kind of expected more from him in this movie, especially that it was his finale. I mean, it's the finale. I expected Han to do something like, add more, other songs, like, more scores that are, new and different. I thought he could have done that, but I mean, he kept it really simple, which, is all right for me, but yeah. I mean, but beside from that, the movie was, I don't know what else to say. I mean, we're in 30 minutes of this video. So, I'm going to see it again. I want to see it as many times as possible because of how great the movie is. And
It's great.
yeah, I mean, that's what happened that's what happens every Christopher Nolan movie I see. The Dark Knight I saw it 3 times. Inception I saw it 4 times. And now, who knows how many times I'll see, The Dark Knight Rises. I mean, the movie is just amazing. I mean, it's the trilogy, in my opinion. Batman Begins, best reboot ever. I mean, best origin story ever made. Dark Knight, best superhero movie ever made. The Dark Knight Rises, best finale movie ever made. So I kind of look at it that way, because all 3 of them are completely different. They don't feel the same. They all have a different style, which is interesting from Christopher Nolan. But when I saw The Dark Knight Rises, I was like, this is from Christopher Nolan? Like, really? So I was surprised by that. Like, it's from him. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I mean, it was very different. My other complaint I have is when the prisoners got out, I was like, why did every single one want to come out with guns and like, hey, I'm gonna join Bane? Like, I'm like, what? Like, literally all the prisoners are gonna be like that. So that part to me kind of felt unbelievable, like not like believable, like not realistic. But I mean, you guys see the movie yourself. I mean, it's give your own opinion, check it out. A lot of people have been saying, it's not as good as The Dark Knight, which, I mean, I agree. I mean, The Dark Knight is a masterpiece, and it's got Heath Ledger, of course, and I love the story in The Dark Knight. And
Damn, it's been a half hour. You gotta wrap this up.
It's done so well. So, Cody, what's your final words on this movie and your review?
I already gave my review. So, what I would like to say is, deeply sorry and saddened by the movie Massacre and what happened and all those people who died at that premiere, because the fucked up thing is that those people aren't going to be able to see that movie normally anymore. Like, they're not going to be able to, like, this is what I was thinking. Like, to be honest, they're not going to be able to go to the movie, watch the movie, and then when that part comes where they all got shot, because there was a certain part where the guy started shooting, which was I already said the shit, but when it gets to that part of the movie, imagine what's going through their head. It's like, I just feel really sorry for those people who, and their families and all that stuff. So I hope things become better in the Aurora community and the people around.
Well, if
God bless those people.
if Holmes, then he's gotta go to prison and he's gonna be sent.
There's no question he's going to prison.
And he's gonna get the death penalty.
If Colorado has the death penalty, do they?
No, I mean this happens in any state. I mean, because all the people he's killed, and if he's like sane about it, and then those booby traps.
No, jail would be worse because people would fuck with him.
No, this would be prison.
Prison would be worse because people would fuck with him.
Yeah, he's getting life in prison, but there is some things like that where they have the death sentence. So.
Prison is the closest thing to hell if there is no death sentence.
Yeah, I mean, but I assume they'll do that because
I'd rather be sentenced to death than spend the rest of my life in prison.
Yeah, my opinion.
Guaranteed.
Too. Yeah, I mean, prison is hell. I mean, but the thing is, how could he really mess with this guy? I mean, he's killed so many people and he's like so intelligent. I mean,
He had a PhD.
they're
They're gonna let him live, and they're gonna fuck him up.
Yeah.
That's what prison is.
We'll
Hell
hear,
on earth.
We'll hear how it turns out, but
There's not gonna be no hearings. He
It's
might be
just-
killed in prison, like Jeffrey Dahmer was, but
Mm.
I guess we'll find out.
it's
So that was the movie review.
just
Ryan, any last thoughts?
well, you know, when you go see the movie, no matter where you are, try to forget what happened. Go into the movie with a fresh approach and be like, you know, hey, I've been looking forward to this movie. I'm gonna go see it because I'm a Batman fan and I'm gonna enjoy this movie with the audience and I'm gonna have a really good time. And just tell yourself that, and don't think about that, because if you do, you're gonna be distracted when you see the movie and you're not gonna be emotionally involved in the film. Luckily, I saw it before this happened, because if this would have happened and I did not see it yet, I would be really upset and I wouldn't know how to react to everything, and I would just be in shock. So I saw it before it, which was good, but I definitely want to see it again. But yeah, but that's our review of The Dark Knight Rises. And I'll be uploading this when I can, because this file is very long, but I think it's worth it. That's my review of The Dark Knight Rises. So you guys let me know what you think of the movie. If you have seen it, like I said, I've given spoilers. So, yep. So this movie, we got Robin, we got Bane, we got Talia al Ghul, we got a hallucination of Ra's al Ghul, and so we got like 4 big characters. So that was a lot. So that's my review, and that's Cody's review, and we'll talk to you guys later. Any final words, Cody?
Nope. Nothing.
Nothing?
This video's been going on forever.
Alright, bye.